Madam Web isn't just the best movie to come out in 2024 so far, it is one of the best superhero movies I have ever seen in my entire life. You didn't actually think I was serious, did you? This movie is utter dog shit. This movie is bottom of the barrel. Madam Web is so bad that I actually feel like my brain has combusted in on itself after watching it. And I actually just recorded a 10-minute review and the file deleted on me. And if that's not a sign that this movie is just cursed, then I don't know what is. Here is my Madam Web review. Dakota Johnson, lovely person, lovely woman, lovely actress, but she's terrible in this. She's so bad. She's very flat. She doesn't have any emotion. She cannot act to save her fucking life. And overall, I think the script doesn't help her either. She's just really terrible. The script is bad. She's bad. A bad script and a bad lead equals a bad movie. Now, Sydney Sweeney, Celeste O'Connor and Isabella Merced are the three Spider Women. Now, actually, I liked these, okay? I did like these three characters. And unfortunately, they don't get given any justice in this movie. I do think they are three teenagers and it's fun to see them interacting with each other and to kind of see them meeting each other for the first time. But one thing that really grinded my gears here is that in the trailers and the marketing, they show these three characters in their Spider-Women costumes and we see them for 20 seconds. I'm not even messing. 20 seconds is literally all we get in these suits. Everything you've seen in those trailers is what is in the movie. And that to me is just ridiculous. It's clickbaity. It's just kind of getting you in there because they're Spider Women. No, they're not Spider Women. They're fucking flashbacks and flash forwards that are just in your dreams. And it hasn't even happened yet. They've not got their powers. Everything is just sold to you to make it seem like this is a Spider movie, but it's really not. Oh, I need to calm down again, frustrated. Ooh. Sony, I don't know what you're doing, but you just need to give the rights back to Marvel at this stage. And when I say Marvel, I mean Marvel Studios. Because how many times are Sony going to put out an L movie like Morbius? And no offense, the Venom movies aren't great either, although I do have a soft spot for them. I do think they're fun movies, but you know, we have two more Sony Marvel movies to suffer through this year with Venom 3 and Kraven the Hunter. Now, I'm not going to lie, I did say that I was really excited for Kraven the Hunter, and I am, but all of my faith in Sony is just down the fucking toilet. How are they supposed to actually make a good movie when they keep making the same mistakes that they always make, with really short run times, terrible screenwriters, no chemistry between the entire cast, and just an overall bad lack of understanding of these characters? They need to just give the rights back to Marvel Studios. Oh my god, just sign the contract. Disney, just throw money at them and just save us from ever having to sit through something as bad as Madam Web again. The directing is bad, the script is bad, the cast is bad, although, you know, I did like the Spider Women. Even some of the dialogue, like, I'm pretty sure there's one line, and I could butcher this, but it's like, with responsibility comes great power, which is just literally butchering the iconic Spider-Man quote. And I think there was just some stupid stuff as well. Madam Web turns to Uncle Ben, who was in this movie. He was in the trailers. Sorry, it's not a spoiler. And turns around and says, "Oh, you don't want to get shot in Queens, do you?" And it's like, okay, we get it. But I think if they had embraced actually being in the same universe as Spider-Man, then it probably would have been a bit better. Or connected to Venom, connected to Kraven, connected to Morbius. Connect your fucking cinematic universe together rather than just making one-off stupid movies that have absolutely nothing to do with anything else that you're making. I think there's no post-credit scenes as well, and the ending is one of the worst endings I've ever seen. I actually feel sick thinking about it. And the reason I feel sick is because I'm going to say something. You can click off now if you've heard enough. This might be a spoiler, but it might not be either. I don't think it's a spoiler, but if you really don't want to know, click away. But in the last 10 seconds of the movie, Dakota Johnson finally gets her Madam Web iconic suit, right? And it is one of the worst, actually no, it is the worst superhero costume I've ever seen in my entire life. It didn't even fit her properly, and it's red. It's like a luminous red. It looks like something straight out of the CW from the early 2010s that like the Flash would wear. And she floats there like a little ghost, right? And she's just floating there with little webs sticking out of her. And she has these goggles on her, the Madam Web goggles. You know, Madam Web is blind. She can't see. And She has these red goggles on her, and honestly, they looked like Fendi sunglasses. They did not look like any sort of like superhero goggles. They just looked like sunglasses, and they were absolutely terrible. And she's floating there in her costume that looked like someone had stitched it together with their eyes closed, with their hands tied behind their back. This suit is terrible. And the other Spider-Women suits, I mean, they're not great either. It's just absolutely terrible. And I just think the CGI in that scene as well was horrific. Like, Madam Web is floating there, and it's just like, the best things in life haven't even happened yet. It's like, no, the worst thing in my life has just happened, and I'm so glad that I'm out of here, because this was just a train wreck. And I think, like, honestly, some of the CGI in it just looked like I recorded it on my phone and used iMovie to edit it together. But yeah, Madam Web was as bad as they made it out to be. I'm going to give it 1.5 stars, 3 out of 10. Now, that's actually kind of generous for me, because I did have it at 4. So I had it at 4 out of 10 with 2 stars. Then I dropped it to 3.5 out of 10, and I've dropped it to 3 now, because the more I think about it, the more I'm like, wow, that was actually terrible. Madam Web, it's out now in cinemas. You're probably not going to see it, and that's absolutely fine. If you don't even want to watch it on digital, then I don't blame you. But if you did plan on seeing it, or you have seen it, I cannot wait to hear the comment section down below. Maybe some of you loved it. I'm so sorry if you did. I mean, like, wow. But yeah, Madam Web, nothing else to say about it.